Hello, it's Liz here with Stampin' on the Rock. Today I'm going to be sharing an explosion card with you. Maybe you've seen this before, maybe not. Let me give you some tips and ideas how to make this work. So this is the card. Ta-da, ba-ba-ba-ba. All right, so these fun kind of cards like this, these pop-ups are not just for children. Adults like them too. I made this a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, I guess, and I still find myself just picking it up, and it's just fun. Like it's going to do something different, and it's not when you open it, but it's just fun to have. So let me show you how we're going to do that, all right? So let me set that aside. I'll be using the stamp sets, 2 stamp sets, Pretty Florals. And then this is one of the product of the months. This is Fabulous Sayings, and this is the product of the month from January. It was released in January, or may not still be able to get it in March, or like February, March now. But when you place an order of $75 or more, it will pop up with a product of the month. Each month, a new product of the month is available. And if there are some leftovers from the month before, that option will be available too. So you may be able to get this, maybe not. But these are the words, and if it's not available, you can use some other words that you have on hand. Okay, so Fabulous Sayings and Pretty Florals. My cardstock that I'm using, I have Garden Green. And this is an 8.5 by 11, just cut in half. Already scored that. I have a piece of basic black that's 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have a piece of white cardstock that's 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then I'm using a piece of 6 by 6 designer series paper. I just realized I have 2 other small ones. Hang on 1 second. Okay. I also have 2 white squares, and these measurements are... Give me 1 second, I'll tell you that one. Okay, so these 2 squares are 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4. They're square, so 2 3/4, okay? So those are the pieces you'll need. This paper right here is from the pack of paper that is called Lovely Garden. And this is just showing you some samples from Lovely Garden. Okay, so that's the pack of paper that it comes from. The ink that I'll be using Garden Green, Crushed Curry, and Memento Black. Memento Black. All right, so let's get started with this. Let's do this inside. We're going to do the pop-up part first, okay? It's good to do it on a video, because in that way, if you're like, wait, I'm not sure what you did there, you can pause it, pause it, rewind it, watch it again, and see, okay? So, all right. It's best if you have a non-directional paper. So these flowers here can really go in any direction. All right, so I'm going to take this, and I'm folding it like a hot dog bun. The biggest thing you want with this is you really want to make sure that your edges line up. And using a bone folder is super helpful when you're doing this. So you want to make sure they line up right here. And I'm going to open it up. And I'm just going to turn it. And I'm going to do that again. Making sure that your edges line up. Use your bone folder and get a good crease. Okay? So I've done this way. I've done this way. And you basically just have 4 squares. Now I'm going to flip it over on the back. And I'm taking one corner up to the other corner. It doesn't really matter. It can be this corner to this corner. It doesn't matter. It's a square. So you're going to take one corner. But just let me go back again, because I had it on this side. And I folded this way. I had it this way. I folded this way. And then I folded this way. Now I'm going to flip it over so that you kind of have like a mountain, I guess. So it's up this way, all right? And now I want to take one corner, and I'm going to fold it up to the other corner. And again, making sure they match up, and crease it. Okay, it's real important that the edges match. Now I'm going to open it up. And you're not going to do it a second time. You're only doing, remember the first time we did it? We went We did it this way, and then we turned it and we did it this way. Okay, when you're doing corner to corner, you're only going to do it one time. All right, so this is what I have at this point. Taking these edges up, and it should fold flat like a square. Okay. So there you go. And again, if you need to, just go back and rewind it and watch it again. It's one of those things, the first time you do it, you're kind of like, wait, what? And then once you realize, you're like, oh, that's not bad. So it really, you can do this. Okay, so you just have here, and you're going to grab the points here, pull it together, and lay it down. And now you have a perfect square like this. Okay, now we're going to take our square. Because you're doing this and you're popping open, you just want to use something that's really strong, a really strong adhesive. So I'm going to use tear and tape, and it's called tear and tape for a reason. You don't really need scissors. It just tears right off. And I'm going to put tear and tape on all four sides here. Okay. Have you done one of these before? Do you have a better tip? Do you know another idea? Is this new to you? I'd love to hear your comments down below. Nice, kind comments. All right, let's do this one. Okay, so we have it on all four sides there. We want to flip over and do the other side. Do one here. Again, tear and tape, because you can just tear it. You don't even need scissors with it. Just put your finger down and pull up. It's a super strong hold tape, and it's good for things that you'll be like this. You're going to be popping open. If you do like 3D things like boxes, this is a good tape to have for that. Okay. Now I'm going to take my base. We're going to open up this base. Let's pull off. There's paper backing on tear and tape. Okay, now the trick with this is you want to make sure, here's the opening. You want that part to face your belly, okay? Face your belly. You want this part, the part that's closed up, to go right into the seam of your card. Okay? So I'm going to lay that down, get it even, right to left. And make sure that closed part goes right up into the seam. Right up into that crease up there. Okay. Push that down. And now I'm going to take the paper off of here. And you can use a take-a-pick tool also if you want. I'm just a little lazy about it. I just kind of use the corner of my nail. With this down, I'm going to take this and just close it up on top. And press that down so it's nice and sealed. And there you go, look. Ba-doop. Da-da, da-da. And you have the flower pops out through there. If you wanted the flower part to be on this side, you could just flip the paper the opposite direction. Okay, now let's go ahead and decorate. We're going to do the inside pieces first. So my inside pieces, the biggest thing you want to know with these pieces, remember you normally would stamp and do your creations with it like this, but we're actually going this way. So when you stamp your words, you want to make sure that everything is kind of like a diamond shape up this way rather than straight. Does that make sense? You'll see. All right, first thing I'm going to do, I'm using a blending brush. I'm going to pick up some green ink from the ink pad. I'm going to start off the paper. So I'm off here on my scratch paper and just slowly, lightly. I'm just brushing in circles lightly, but always start off of it on your scratch paper and just light. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And we're going to brush all the way around. All right, I actually have my heater on in my room today, and I'm actually getting hot. So hang on a second. Gotta turn that off. All right, I'm taking, this is the piece for the front, and I'm going to do the same thing with the piece from the front. Start off on your scratch paper all the way around. And the Stampin' Blends come 3 in a packet. And this is the regular size, and then there are minis also. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. I might come back to that later to add some more. Let's do the inside. So my inside is, I'm going to take the stem. And again, remember that I'm not going this way. I want to stamp with it kind of on a diamond shape there. So I'm going to take the stem of the flowers, which is all in one stem. All right, I'm going to do this off. All right, so it's off the paper. And then we're going to pull out the crushed curry. But actually, there's no right or wrong. This stamp set has where there's detail that goes inside the color here. Some people do this solid part first. Some people do the detail first. There's not a right or wrong. I think it's a little easier to do the detail part first because it's darker. And then you can see better what you're doing. So not a right or wrong, just a preference. So I'm going to take this is Memento Black, and I'm going to line that up right there. Okay. And then we're going to do crushed curry right on top. And see, I can see exactly where the details are because it's a darker color. So we'll go ahead and stamp that on top there. And there we go. Okay, that's our one piece. This will be the part on the top. I'm going to put my words down first so I know that I have enough space for my flowers. So I'm doing You're on My Mind. I'm going to do my words, do the words first. And we're doing right through the center. Straight down, straight back up without rocking. I'm going to go ahead and add some flowers in here. This one I'm actually going off the paper, maybe because the green is on here, you can see a little bit better, but I'm not doing the whole thing on there, I'm just doing part of it. So there's really like one flower right there. And then this one I'm going to do all of them. Okay, we'll go back and do the solid part of the flower. Really only one flower is going on that part, and then the top. I'm gonna line up right over top of that. And there we go. Okay, so these are my 2 pieces for the inside. So let's go ahead and attach those. I'm using the liquid glue. Again, if you use the liquid glue, look how far from my edges I am. If you get a big blob right here, use the tip and pull it in. That way when you press it down, it doesn't ooze all over your card. So just pull it in. You don't want any blobs. And you see, really, that's all I'm putting on there. Okay. So this one is going to go on the top. Put that right in there. Press down. All good. Let's do the bottom one. Again, you can see the amount of glue, and I'm not getting close to the edge. Right there. This one is going to go here. And this isn't a card. If you have like 2 paragraphs you want to write to someone, this is not going to be the card design that you're going to want. It's just writing a little note. Just, I know we're all busy. We all have a lot going on, but just to send a sweet card to someone and just saying, I'm thinking of you and hope you're doing well today. Have a great week. Thanks for being my friend. And you can write that right in this little space right here. If you want to write just a little bit more, take those flowers off the bottom. Don't put them on. That's fine. Okay, so that's your inside. Let's do the outside. Do the front. Again, I'm going to stamp the words first just to make sure I have space and my flowers don't end up where I wanted words. Okay, so this one says just because. All right, now right here I got a little bit ink, kind of a blotchy that I'm like, I'm not really liking it. Not maybe a big deal, but I don't really like it like that. So what we can do is we're just going to plan stems right around it then. Not a big deal. I'm going to take my stems and I'm going to stamp right, let's see where my blotch is. And I'm going to stamp this right over top of it. And look, you don't even see the blotch anymore. Okay, there's usually, not always, there's usually ways that you can cover up or conceal or whatever, maybe little mistakes or imperfections that you're not thrilled about. All right, so let's go ahead with these flowers again. I'm going to do the detail part first. There we go, and then I'll go back and do the insides. Okay. There we go. All right, and then if you want to, if you're like, okay, now that's good, and maybe I want just a little bit extra green around my edges in here, that's fine. Go back and you can just add in a little bit more if you wanted a little bit darker green edges. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to our black piece here. And that's it. Okay. Add that to the black. Just going to turn that over and get that pressed real well. And we're going to add this to the front of the card. Just make sure you're adding it to the front and not the back, so pay attention to what you're doing. Talking from experience. All right, put that down here. Press. Turn that over and just press that into place. And you can finish there, or it's just fun to add a little extra sparkle, a little shine. So these are iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. I also have, these are little flat sparkly pieces that came as leftovers from a kit that I had. So grab whatever you would like. I find you could use a take a pick tool if you want, or I grab my scissors. The biggest thing with these, you don't want to grab a hold of them and pull them up, because then a lot of times the adhesive that's behind them stays on the plastic piece and you don't have anything. So I grab my scissors and slide underneath this way. And then maybe right here I have a little yellow spot that I don't really like there. That was a little runaway ink spot. I'll put that right over top of that. Let's see, where do I want another one? Maybe right in here. Just adds a little sparkle to your card. And you can get a pack of embellishments for like $8. And there's so many on here. You could do so many cards with that. So when you're putting your next order in, just add a pack of embellishments on. And if you have a bunch at home, use them. Grab them. Put a little sparkle on your cards. Okay, if you have a bunch, you're like, oh man, I have a bunch at home. Pull them out. Every card you make, stick something on there. Put some kind of embellishment, some kind of fun. All right, so we've got a little sparkle right there, just because you're on my mind. And write your little note in there, and that's your explosion card. Hope you enjoy that. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes for you. And if you make one, send me a picture of what you did. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.